We're following breaking news tonight. 2 young girls abducted from their Amish community, taken from their family.
We're following all leads. We're making sure that we overturn every stone that we can, that we're aware of, and we're moving from there.
From the rural roadsides in Hoverton to the Oswegatchie River, the search is on to find Fanny and Delilah Miller.
Our community was a very small, safe place, and everybody felt safe. And you see the Amish children at these little fruit stands all the time, and our kids walk to school back and forth, and that just all changed in one day.
A sense of community, a sense of comfort questioned in just one day. A pastor invites neighbors to a candlelight vigil tonight as everyone around Hoverton hopes for the best.
This is NBC3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Matt Mulcahy. Megan is off tonight. We continue to follow breaking news out of the North Country as the effort to reunite 2 young Amish girls with their family goes on. It's been 23 hours now since Fanny and Delilah Miller were kidnapped, abducted from their family farm stand. You've seen the Amber Alert signs flashing along the highway today, crawling across the bottom of your television screens, even as we speak tonight. Well, 12-year-old Fanny Miller is the older of the 2 girls. She stands about 5 feet tall, about 90 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. She's said to be cross-eyed. Delilah Miller is 7 years old. Last night she was reported as 6. That's been updated. She's about 4 feet tall, weighs about 50 pounds. She also has brown hair and eyes, has 2 distinguishing features, a round scar on her forehead and a couple of teeth missing in the front. Both girls were last seen wearing their dark blue dresses, blue aprons, and black bonnets. Now, investigators say the girls got into a small white 4-door car. The license plate is not known. It looks something like the car you see in this poster. They were last seen waiting on a customer at their family farm stand on Mount Alone Road in Hoverton. To give you a better sense as to where we're talking about, here's a look at this very rural area of St. Lawrence County. On the upper left center section of the screen is the town of Ogdensburg. You're looking at the St. Lawrence River there, the Canadian border. That's about 60 miles northeast of Watertown, at least a 2.5-hour drive from the center of Syracuse. Now, 7:30 tonight, that'll mark 24 hours since the search for the sisters began. Right now, the sheriff leading the investigation says there have been many tips, and investigators from several agencies are helping. Our Sarah Beth Ackerman joins us live from the command center with the latest. Sarah Beth?
Matt, right now several law enforcement agencies are working inside the fire department going over any possible leads. And right now the sheriff's department told me that they're treating this as an abduction until they hear and learn more information. When we arrived on the scene where the girls went missing, several members of the community were coming together to send their condolences. And they're hoping for a positive outcome. And officers are doing just that, and they're working around the clock. I know that you had mentioned earlier that you're looking for every possible area, whether it's river or things like that. I guess, can you talk a little bit about some of the places that you did happen to search, if you can?
We're searching again. We've searched waterways, we've searched roadsides, we're searching, pull-ins, different areas where a vehicle could go, and we're just making sure that we don't miss anything.
And I guess because I know with Amish tradition, it is difficult because of the photos. Do you think that that's cause more of a complication or a challenge?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, it would be in the norm to be able to get those. We can't get those, so we move on without it.
And Matt, as you just heard, the sheriff did say that they're looking everywhere, rivers, roadways. Even when I came here, they were walking up and down the highway just to see if they can find anything. And they're not ruling anything out until they get more information. Reporting now in St. Lawrence County, I'm Sarah Beth Ackerman.
Thank you, Sarah Beth, live in Hoverton tonight. Now, we have a lot more to tell you about. Investigators are pursuing any and all leads. If you have information, anything at all that might be able to help, you're asked to contact either 911 in your area, call the St. Lawrence County Sheriff's Department directly, or use the New York State Amber Alert hotline. The Amish are a central part of the community in the North Country, really part of the landscape there. It's a place where you see Amish children at fruit stands frequently, and children feel safe just walking to school. But the pastor of one local church says that feeling all changed in just a day. At 7:30, Pastor Rusty Bissell will open his church to host a candlelight vigil, a place where people can come together.
The community is like going back in time. It's like the old, kind of like the old Mayberry type of town, where everybody knows everybody. The Amish are a very common sight, and everybody waves to everybody, and it's just like you would go back probably into the the 1960s almost, and just see that there's no red lights, there's nothing like that. It's a very close-knit community.
Now we're going to have a live report from the community. More details on the vigil coming up in about 7 more minutes here on NBC3. And of course, we'll continue to follow this alert throughout the half hour, all evening, and the latest tonight on the CW6 News at 10 and NBC3 News at 11, plus our CNY Central mobile app anytime. Download that for the very latest. He's being remembered as a small-town boy who loved his sport. Hundreds gathered at South Lewis High School in Turin to say their final goodbyes to Kevin Ward Jr., the young race car driver killed last weekend outside Rochester. Right now, our Alex Dunbar shares how loved ones are paying tribute.
A standing room only crowd filled the South Lewis High School auditorium for Kevin Ward Jr.'s funeral. His family and friends remembered him as a passionate racer who loved to make others laugh. Many in the crowd wore Ward's number 13 or had on orange and white ribbons.
The orange and white are bright colors, and that even against black clothing, it does shine through.
Many in the crowded auditorium joined in when one of Ward's friends sang George Strait's Love Without End. His sisters mixed laughs with tears as they described Ward as a caring and loving soul who inspired his young nieces and nephews. His friend Ray Falk thanked people for their support, but also expressed some frustration with the large number of national media who attended the service.
The only thing I got to say about this whole deal, all these cameras, if it wasn't Tony Stewart, only about 3 of these cameras would be here. And that's really what really bothers me.
And the director of Empire Super Sprint says there will be an orange out Friday night at the Brewerton Speedway and on Saturday night in Canandaigua to honor Kevin Ward Jr. For now, reporting from Turin, I'm Alex Dunbar.
This Saturday, races at the Canandaigua Motorsports Park will pick back up. Kevin Ward Jr.'s father told the promoter it's what his son would have wanted. The park is expected to release more details about a tribute they plan. It's asking those who plan on going to the racetrack that night to wear orange in a show of unity. And we're following some breaking news from Tony Stewart's camp just now, just into us. He will not race this Sunday at the Michigan International Speedway. That'll be the second straight weekend he's skipping the NASCAR Sprint Cup Race Series since striking and killing Ward in Canandaigua at the dirt track race in Canandaigua last Saturday. Well, new at 6 tonight, we're on the Waste Watch tonight. According to Syracuse City law, property owners are responsible for the sidewalks in front of their homes. They must clear them of snow and debris and maintain them. But as Jim Kenyon found out, when the city takes on that responsibility from you, be prepared to spend a lot of money. We dug deeper to find out how much it's costing.
You need only walk a block or two in most neighborhoods to realize the sidewalk ordinance in Syracuse is loosely enforced. Some are broken down, overgrown with grass, and some are made of asphalt instead of the required concrete. So you can imagine Brenda Bolivar's surprise when she received a condemnation notice from the city ordering her to replace her sidewalk by September 1st.
What is your reaction when you receive this letter?
I almost had a stroke.
Syracuse has a sidewalk assessment program. When DPW inspectors decide a sidewalk must be replaced, you have 3 options. Replace it yourself, hire a contractor, or the city will replace it for you and add the cost onto your taxes for 10 years. The city's quote, $10,866. That's right, almost $11,000 to be added to Bolivar's tax bill.
I think it's price gouging. I'm not really sure where all that money's going. I'm not sure it's all going to the contractors that they have hired to do this work.
I measured both of her sidewalks on her corner lot, 160 feet. Brenda says she got 2 estimates from private contractors, one for $6,500 and another for $5,500, nearly half of what the city would charge.
Bolivar says the city is also requiring that they widen this sidewalk to 5 feet, and that would require them to tear up some of the landscaping that's been here for years.
Brenda thinks her sidewalk was singled out by the DPW because she has a $600 claim against the city. She says last year, a DPW backhoe damaged a stone platform where she used to place her trash cans.
I made a complaint, and now they're saying, well, you want us to pay $600? Look at what we're going to make you pay.
A spokesperson for Mayor Stephanie Miner says because of Bolivar's claim against the city, she cannot comment on Bolivar's specific situation. Reporting from Syracuse, I'm Jim Kenyon.
The mayor's office also provided us an overview of how it assessed sidewalks. We posted that on our website, cnycentral.com. You can read it in detail there. Remember, if you have any investigation you think is worthy of our Waste Watch team, send us an email, news@cnycentral.com. Well, coming up, back to the breaking news we've been following for almost 24 hours now. 2 young girls abducted from their family farm stand in one of the most rural areas of St. Lawrence County, not too far from the Canadian border. Right now, investigators are following every possible angle to make Fanny and Delilah Miller reunite with their family. They're treating this as a worst-case scenario. Insight into the culture of the community, that's straight ahead. But first, we want to head outside to get a check on the weather with NBC3 Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar. Wayne.
And Matt, temperatures cool enough today. We're talking about some lake effect rain and lake effect rain showers. I'll be back in a few minutes and I'll show you who might see some of that lake effect rain. All that coming up.
Welcome back to NBC3 News at 6 as we continue to follow the search for the missing Amish girls. It's been 23 hours now since Fanny and Delilah Miller were plucked from their family farm stand on Mount Alone Road in Hoovelton. You heard from Pastor Rusty Bissell a few minutes ago, who said this terrible act has stripped the community of the security it was so used to. Our team coverage continues tonight. Live with our Alex Rusilla speaks more to the culture of the people in Hoovelton. Alex.
Well, Matt, we're in the town of Lisbon right now, and giving you an idea, if you're familiar with Canton and Potsdam, we're a little bit west of there by about 10 or 15 miles, very close to the Canadian border in the northwestern corner of St. Lawrence County. Now, as you can see right behind me, we're literally in the middle of where a lot of the Amish people are living here throughout the county and throughout much of the northern part of New York. And right behind me there's this fruit stand here that's very similar to the fruit stand which those 2 little girls were taken from later last night. Now, for many people here in the Amish community, they are unwilling to speak to me on camera, but they were saying off camera that the entire community here is shocked and saddened, and this shock and sadness really does continue to the greater and the larger community here. Many neighbors oftentimes will come down the road to buy zucchini or strawberries or anything else from this farm stand, and they really get a good sense and get to know a lot of the Amish people here. So they're also shocked and saddened, and they only are hoping for good news moving forward.
It makes absolutely no sense to me. Like I said, they're a quiet, gentle culture, quiet, gentle people. Why someone would do this, it just makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. It boggles the mind. It makes no sense at all. And it's very disturbing.
And Matt, as I was just talking about earlier with the gentleman I was speaking to, they don't want to talk on camera, so they naturally are very private. And I was talking with a few of the other neighbors here. They're saying they're actually working with many of the Amish here, explaining to them exactly what Amber Alert is, how the Sheriff's Department and how other police agencies are looking around and investigating, because this is something that is very uncommon here in the area. And coming up at 7:30 on NBC3 News at 11, I'm going to be going to Hoovelton to a church there, to Cornerstone Wesleyan Church, where the community will be having a vigil to come together and pray. For now, reporting live here in the town of Lisbon in St. Lawrence County, I'm Alex Rusilla.
Thank you, Alex. We look forward to that coverage tonight. Well, the calendar says August felt more like fall today, didn't it? At least September. When will it warm up? Well, Wayne will be back to let us know if any of these showers that are out there will affect us and when it might get back to more August-like temperatures.